welcome to Knit One Heart 2.
Episode 242.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie, and if this is your first time watching us, thank you. And if you are a return viewer, thank you as well.
What were you thinking? It was your first. You had to go first to announce us.
That's what I thought you were saying at first, and then I was like, I don't know what you mean by that. I don't
Sorry,
understand.
people. We're having a small conversation. Okay, shout-outs. First thing first, or second thing seconds, whatever. We are going to draw a couple of winners today for the Works in Progress knit-along.
Yep.
And that will be at the end of the show. And for the Blue Moon Fiber Arts knit-along from February.
Yes.
So I posted a thread saying any pictures after this thread were going to be part of March.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thread? No. Post. Sorry.
In the thread.
In the thread. There we go. So,
and we have come up with a new theme for our March-April knit-along.
Which I have to say thank you to the viewer who posted it in our What Should We Do Next thread.
Yes, that's where we get our ideas.
Of course,
from.
you know, it would have been really good of me to write it down, but I'm not. I'll be the first to say I'm not good for notes.
Yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to go to the post office today. When you texted me that you were on your way here, I was like, crap.
Yeah, because the post office, closes at 4 or 4:30 or something.
And it was like, I'm like, too late now.
Yeah.
I could have gone there too. I drove by it today. It's just.
Well, hopefully next week I'll have actual normal schedule.
Yeah, or maybe I can drop over there tomorrow or something. Just in case there's anything in there.
So if anyone sent us anything,
that's
we apologize.
why we haven't said anything.
I've been working later hours and
I keep forgetting to go because she usually goes to the post office. So I just
mailing and post office stuff is typically my job since I don't really do much of else. So anyway,
the theme for the March-April knit-along, which will include any projects that you start in March or April. No, we don't do it that way.
No.
Any projects that you finish in March or April that are knit from variegated yarn.
The last 2 months knit-along was different because it was works in progress.
Right.
This one could be works in progress or new items. It doesn't make a difference. This one, we're just doing variegated yarn.
It must be knit at least 60% in variegated yarn.
I mean,
so
not
more
2
than
colors.
half.
It's got to be at least 3 colors, too. I mean, I don't know. Would a variegated yarn be 2 colors?
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Variegated just means that it's more than one color.
Space dyed or just...
But self-striping doesn't count.
No.
And if it
not
can't, kettle dyed doesn't, tonal kettle dyed doesn't count. It has to be.
This
that's
is a true variegated yarn.
Yeah.
It's got like 3 or more colors. I don't think I have anything else. Actually, yeah. This is even a variegated yarn. It's a dark variegated yarn, but it's a variegated yarn.
I think a variegated yarn, like if you had a red and blue blend, 2 colors, but it's red and blue and it's not striping, that's variegated. But if you had like red and then parts of the yarn that were lighter red because of the kettle dyeing, that's not variegated. It needs to be at least 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Like 2 obviously different colors. This is not variegated, even though there's some blue and some purple in this yarn.
That's because of how the dye took, right?
Yeah, it's not variegated. So and if you have questions, you can always ask. And again, we don't care if you've used it in another contest, so don't worry about that. And if you get that thing that says you're spam posting, just ignore it. In our group, we allow people to post. Cross-post, so don't worry about that. We don't control the spam thing. We don't. It just comes up, but it says without permission from the group, we give you permission.
Yeah, and if it happens to be variegated blue moon, again, double dip.
Hey, that's a good plan. Because the blue moon continues.
The blue moon is an all-year thing, and most blue moon, not all, but most blue moon that people purchase are variegated yarns.
Yeah, those
they
are
certainly don't
variegated.
have self-striping.
No.
That would be nice. I would definitely fall off the wagon for that. Don't make any self-striping.
Self-striping is my kryptonite.
Blue moon is mine.
I've already decided that.
So that's it for shoutouts, right?
Yep. On the dance card, the first thing that I have on the dance card is my poncho. I got a lot of work done in it since last time. You can see it's gotten pretty big.
That's pretty. I like it.
And I tried it on.
Looks good.
And it looks like it's going to be good. I was thinking of doing one more round of increases, even though the pattern doesn't call for it, but I think this will be fine. Because this is a superwash, so it's going to grow a little bit. I don't want it to be too big. I think this will be perfect. And this part, the top part, fits perfectly, so I'm really happy with it. And I like how it looks.
I do too.
So all I have to do now is keep knitting, and then every 4 rows I do my yarn over pattern. So it's pretty simple.
Just keep knitting.
So I've been working on that, and Sheila and I put an extra cord in it. This is how big the cable was that I was knitting it on, and I was like, this is driving me nuts. It was this big.
How many stitches were on there?
300 stitches. Now I put it on like a normal one, and I'm like, oh, this is so much better. This is almost maybe a tiny bit too big.
I was going to say, because it reminds me of like a blanket where it just weighs it down.
Yeah, so I don't know. I might have to go down like 1 cable size, but yeah, I went from this. I'm like, I didn't even realize it was that small, but I forgot. When I started it, it told you to use a small one because it was the size of a hat, so you could just knit in the round.
I don't even knit my socks on this length.
Me either.
That's too short.
I don't know what happened.
Well, no, you did what they asked you to do. You just forgot to.
And then they told you to put on the bigger one, and I just never did.
You're like, yeah, I'll do it later.
And then I just was like, it was getting harder. I was like shoving it around. Because 300 stitches on what, like a 24-inch cable?
Yeah, I'd say that was 24-inch.
It's not a good plan. Don't do that.
No.
Take it from me. Don't do that at home. So
don't try this at home.
So that's this. It's made out of Dream and Color Classy in the In Vino Veritas colorway. And all of these slip stitch colors are leftovers. There's some diabolical from the sweater. And
right.
There's some pink and blue diabolical. One's from a sweater and one's from a mitten and hat set that I did. So that's what that is. Next on the dance card is my Jeck sock, and you can tell from the fact you can tell from the fact that it's this big that I started the second sock.
Because when did I talk to you earlier this week? You hadn't cast it on.
I hadn't cast it on yet. I cast it on yesterday while I was watching TV because this was in the other room and I didn't feel like getting it. So I'm almost done with the toe increases, and then I'll start the pattern. So I did that, and this is in Fiber Nymph Dye Works Bounce Base in the Lucky Cat colorway, and it is self-striping. I really like it.
So you can start at the same place.
I just whatever.
Curious.
I don't do that. I don't know why. It doesn't bother me
weird.
If the socks don't look the same. If the colors don't look the same, it only bothers me if they're not symmetrical. So I don't know. That's a weird. I don't even know. That doesn't make sense, but it just is the way that it is.
See, for me, the last few self-stripings haven't been for me, so I don't even know if that would bother me or not. You know
it just doesn't bother me. You know, they're the same colors, so I don't really care if they're not exactly the same. And then last thing, I didn't work on it at all this week. I did last week, is my Cash cowl in Into the World Manchester sock in the double rainbow colorway, which is so pretty. But I haven't really been working on it because I'm really trying to get these socks done. And the reason I'm trying to get the socks done is because I have an idea for a new sock design that I am going to do with my next yarn. And I know what the next yarn is going to be, because I ordered it from Diabolical on her update last night.
Oh, okay.
So I have a design idea. I'm going to knit it in that, and then I'll publish it when I'm done. So that's it for on my dance card.
I was just looking at socks that I knit for my son out of self-striping. Yeah. And I didn't care for this. Like, I didn't try and match the striping.
So there you go.
It was just for my coworkers that I did.
Well, people who don't have a lot of hand knit or never had hand knit socks, I would probably make them more like professional looking. But for me, I'm just like, as long as they're the same, they're knit out of the same color yarn.
Max doesn't care. But, because they were given as gifts, I cared.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't perfect, but. So, for me on the dance card, I have the Lined Beanie. It's a couple of different patterns, but it's basically the Lined Beanie by Heather Boutros Babe from Fiberista Files. I'm going to show you her picture. It's a free pattern. I knit a couple of these last year. What it is you knit...
It's like you knit two hats, sort of.
Well, yes and no. You knit basically an air flap that you fold under so it keeps you extra warm.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong one. That's the one where you knit a band. It's like a band.
Right, and then
you
you do a purl to flip it over, and then
you knit the hat.
Yeah.
And then you attach it so it's got kind of like a band of doubled.
Right, to keep
cloth.
your ears warm.
Yes.
So I'm doing it in the sock weight version, which she doesn't have a sock weight version, but I'm doing it in a sock weight version. I saw somebody who knit Malabrigo in the sockhead hat on Instagram, and I liked the look of that. And my son likes beanies. He likes...
Yeah.
I asked him what kind of hat he wanted. He chose that. I just happen to be making it out of sock weight. I don't know. Just because. It's Malabrigo fingering sock weight, and we were figuring this out. This is one of my oldest stash. I purchased it, what did I say, November 2008? Was when Malabrigo first came out with their sock weight.
And we ordered it from somewhere. Do you remember that?
Yeah, didn't it take like a month or so?
Loopy U we ordered it from.
Could have been.
Or Webs.
No, I think it might have been Loopy U.
A bunch of us,
I don't know.
a bunch of
us
our
went
friends
in.
ordered it. And
So it's Malabrigo, the Indicita colorway. I knit this with something once, and because it was meant to be that, but the problem was there was no use for the item that I knit, so I ripped it out, and it's been sitting in my stash ever since. So this is going to be a beanie hat with sock weight. And
Yeah.
I started it today. I'm already about an inch. It's going to be a while.
I'm telling
It's
you,
mindless knitting.
This sweater, the base of this is probably from 2009 or 2010. It's pretty old.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing, some of the old stash. It's just nice to get it out of there, too. I've been waiting for something. I keep looking at it. What am I going to knit? What am I going to knit? I just felt that it was too thin for socks.
Yeah.
It might, it's on a size 3, and any hat, like the sockhead hat, calls for 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
But where this is going to be doubled for most of it, it doesn't bother me that much. What does bother me, though, is how these are, I think, Addy Turbos. How dull. Not dull.
I can't stand Addy tips anymore. Only Addy lace. All the Addy regulars are so dull.
Yeah.
I can't knit with them.
It's just not sharp enough. So this is what I had in the bag when I started. I'll see what I have at home. I think the set that we were given does not go as low as size 3.
It doesn't. I think it's 4 and up.
So the other option is to do it magic loop style. That may bug me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what I have.
Up.
I mean, I'm able to do this. Obviously, it's just not as quick as I would normally do it. I guess is a good way of saying it.
Yeah. Now this cable is too big. I need to get one that's like
somewhere in the middle.
Right.
So that's all I have on the dance card.
That's it.
That's
okay. Rate your date. I have a PhD to rate because I finished one of my Jeck Socks. I love this pattern. It's very simple. And it adds a little interest, but it doesn't really, mess with the striping or do anything weird. I love how the heel came out on this sock.
I do too.
It's just funny that it did that little triangle. It did.
It would be nice if just per chance. I mean, I know you don't do it, but it would be really funny if it worked the opposite. On the next sock.
It was on this
because
side.
If you look where you started, there's a good possibility that it will.
Yeah. Well, it's possible.
It would be funny.
So, yeah, I didn't start at the same point. It doesn't bother me to start.
No, I know, but it will be interesting to see.
So, yeah, and I did the leg a teeny bit longer, like maybe an inch longer than I normally do. So, I like it. It came out good.
They look pretty.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll work on this and it won't take me too long to do the second sock. Because I just, after being sick twice this month, I just haven't knit very much, but I feel like my mojo's kind of coming back now. So.
Yeah.
But that's it for my dates to rate.
I have a date to rate. My problem is I'm missing half of it. I'm really hoping it's at the house, and my son just did what we in my family call a daddy look.
Yeah, our family calls it man looking.
So I finished my son's socks. Now, what's funny about this is it looks nothing like what I showed you last week.
Right.
Because when I got home, I had done a toe up with a gusset, and I was already, around the heel and up on the leg. It was really too big.
The heel?
Well, it was like an inch too big, lengthwise.
Wow.
And my son's like, oh, no, it fits. I'm like, it does not fit. I said, I'm not going to be making another sock. So I ripped out the whole gusset and did a few more rows and then started the heel. I did a fish lips kiss. These are 64 stitches. He could probably get away with maybe 62, maybe 60. But I think if I did 60, the heel would not be as comfortable.
Right,
so I stuck with the 64. He likes shorter cuffs because of his hairy legs. It hurts. I'm like, whatever. Easier on me. A long foot for a short cuff. So it's just a toe up. I did a longer rib because I was really hoping to do it short. But when he actually put it on, it looked too short, I guess.
Yeah, like a golf sport sock.
Yeah, which he wears, don't get me wrong.
Right,
but not with the hand knit. Like,
yeah.
This is about 3.5 inches on the cuff, I think. I don't know. I'd like to show you the second one, and I hope I can post the second picture on Instagram. I am so afraid.
So, that's it for
Rate My Date.
No whirlwind romances. Future dates, still gonna work on this, but I am gonna design a new sock pattern that I have an idea in my head for after I finish this pair. So I have a ways to go. That's my future date.
I got a couple of future dates after I do this. I plan on doing a sock for Zachary. I have some pink cotton-esque yarn that he picked out.
Oh.
I want to say it's the opal, or I don't know. It's cicada, the cottony blend type of sock yarn. And I asked him, because my sons both like the shorter socks.
Right.
But I asked him, I'm like, oh, how long do you want your sock? He goes, oh, I want it like where you have it. I'm like, oh, darn it. But the thing is I have never made Zachary a pair of socks.
Oh, so he needs a pair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But see, the reason why is because he fits into mine right now.
Yeah.
But he's got a little, I don't want to say a wider foot. He's got a different foot. But I was talking to Max because this hat will either be for him or my brother. And Max goes, poor Zachary isn't getting anything to knit. But he doesn't. And I said, yeah, I feel bad. But Max brought up a good point. He doesn't appreciate it as much.
Right.
Not that he doesn't. He likes my socks. But Max likes wearing my hats. Zachary, more in the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think you know how there's people who are hat people and people who aren't?
Yeah.
So Max really likes wearing the beanie, so I think he may not like the color of this, but I don't know.
He will. That's masculine.
So like the style of it. So I think that's why I tend to knit for him, and I don't have a problem with it, although I have yet to knit him a pair of slippers. He keeps stealing mine. So, and then I found out a coworker of mine is having a baby, so I may or may not knit her a blanket, just because she helps us out a lot. She's in the chemistry department.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I have yarn that I've been wanting
to
make a baby
just do
blanket.
Booties or something.
Well, yeah, we'll see what. She still has a few weeks. We'll see. Least of all, it would probably be a little hat with booties.
Yeah, because that's always a nice gift, and it's not so much work.
Right.
So that's it for future dates. Neither one of us has any baubles and bling this week.
Nope.
Although I did order self-striping kettle dyed yarn from Diabolical Yarn. If you remember, I bought her solid self-striping a few weeks ago.
Which that was in the update, wasn't it?
Yes, they had more of that in the update. I think she still has some colors left. I'm not sure. The last time I checked, some were still left. You can go to Diabolical Yarns on Etsy, and she has at least one of the kettle dyed stripes, which you have to understand. The kettle dyed striping.
Let me see if I can pull it up on Instagram.
On this, your stripes are pretty solid colors. The kettle dye makes them kind of like heathered looking because you're getting this kind of a look in each stripe. So it's really pretty. It's just different. Yeah, you can tell the ones that are heathered. The top 3 are the kettle dyed stripes, and these are more of the solid striping. So, yeah, check it out. I think it's really pretty. The heathered stripes are kind of different. It's like a different look from it than a lot of the stuff that I already have, which was making me happy.
Yeah, that's the appeal.
Yes. So yeah, I broke my yarn diet again, but like I said, I love self-striping yarn. I love diabolical yarn. Now that she's all of a sudden dyeing self-striping yarn, it's really too much for me to resist. It's my kryptonite. So
that's funny.
And it's okay. You know, I'm not buying anything else. I'm knitting from my stash.
Yeah.
And I made a little money selling my other sock patterns, so I can afford to buy one skein of yarn.
Yeah.
So I did.
Just one.
I did. I bought one. So I'll be showing that when it comes in, but I don't have it yet, obviously. So crushes and heartbreaks. My crushes, I learned how to cook chicken breasts a really easy way that was more like baking, so I didn't like burn anything, and they came out really good.
Good.
Because I'm trying to eat healthier, and one of the things that I do is I try to get more protein and vegetables in my diet, and I'm trying to, you know, cut back on the carbs and the sugars. So one of my favorite lunches is a spring mix salad with chicken breast cut up on it, Kalamata olives, red grape tomatoes, and a little bit of feta cheese. I don't use dressing, so that's I love that. I love that salad. And I used to buy the pre-prepared chicken breasts that were already cut into strips because they used to sell them at the deli department made them, and they sold a little package of them, and they were, you know, at Market Basket. But they don't do that anymore. They stopped selling it. So then I was buying a whole roasted chicken and pulling it apart, but it was messy, and the stuff was like all shreddy, and it just wasn't the same. So I thought, you know, I should really just learn how to cook that, because I could have my husband do it for me, but it would be better if I could just do it. So I went on this website called Kitchen, which is KITCHN, because when I searched on how to prepare boneless, skinless chicken breast, it said easiest, quickest recipe, perfect every time. And I was like, that sounds good for me. And I got this recipe, and it worked great.
I'm going to have to try it.
So, the great thing about it is it only takes 20 minutes of cooking time, and you don't have to do anything. 21 if you count when you brown it.
Right.
21 minutes, and basically it's just you waiting to hear a timer go off. You don't have to stand over the stove. You don't have to do anything. That kind of cooking is good for me. So I made that myself, and because I've been making my own eggs every morning. I know how to do that. I can make scrambled eggs, but that's my breakfast is usually eggs so that I can get protein from the eggs, and then I need to eat 3 ounces of chicken for lunch. So that's my new thing. Okay. And I'm like, all right, like I can do that little thing. I should try to find out some other little things that I can cook and like learn how to do that. Like this went successfully. I was very nervous about it. So that is my crush, because I have started a lot of stove fires. I have burned a lot of stuff. I'm not very good. I'm great at baking. I'm not very good at cooking. So this was kind of like a
test.
No, it was like a boost to my confidence. I was a confidence booster.
Yep.
That I just followed the instructions exactly. And the thing that I liked about it, this website has a picture for each step.
Oh, nice.
So you're like, oh, you know, and that always helps. That way, if you don't understand what they're talking about in the words, the picture is like, oh, like I had to pound the chicken breasts. I've never done that before. They said to use a jar.
Mm-hmm.
I just put some saran wrap over it, and I pounded it with my big rolling pin.
Yeah,
That
that'll
worked
work.
pretty good. I didn't want the chicken to get on my
I
rolling
usually
pin.
put it in Ziploc for
Yeah,
me.
Ziploc. Yeah, I just covered it the whole, like, wide enough so that when I
Right.
pounded it couldn't get
Well,
on
you
my...
were doing a small amount too. See, I usually when I do that, I do a large amount because of what I cook,
Yeah.
and so I take it out. I do what I need to do, then I put more back in. So it's like really reusable.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't think of that. I just put a piece of saran
But
wrap on it.
you were only doing 3 pieces of chicken.
Yeah,
like I do
3 pieces about this big.
I do
so,
like 12.
Yeah. Because I can't eat. I can't eat that much.
No, but I'm the one who cooks in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm cooking the meal, and my kids like cutlets.
Right.
So, and I like cutlets. So when I do cutlets, I do a lot of cutlets.
Well, this is great because you can do something else because you don't have to like be hovering over it while you're cooking them.
True.
So, anyway, check out that kitchen website. They have a bunch
good.
of stuff there, and I'm like, I might look and see if they have any other recipes. So that was my crush, and I don't think I have any heartbreaks.
Good. Crush and heartbreaks for me. This week kind of went by fast, but at the same time it dragged. I was at an offsite a couple of times. Actually, 3 out of the 4 days so far that I've worked. And I'm working this weekend. Which I always cringe when I work weekends. It's beside the point. So I want to say work is like a heartbreak, but not serious. I don't know. I got spoiled being on vacation.
It's hard to go back to work after a vacation.
And it's been 2 weeks. It's not even like it was last week. It's been 2 weeks. But I haven't been at the hospital. So there's a downside and an upside to that. The upside is the offsites that I've been they've been busy. Like today I was busy. But they haven't been crazy. But yet at the same time I'm not by myself and it gets a little, not lonely. Lonely is not a good word.
Boring,
You got patience, but it's not the same.
Right.
You know?
You don't have that collegial atmosphere.
No. So, I mean, a lot of things are going on. My supervisor gave her notice, or she's going down to per diem. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. All heck could break loose. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see who they put in, if they put in anyone, or what goes on. So, changes are coming. Whether they affect me or not, I have no idea.
Oh, well, I guess you'll find out.
Yeah, I'm also excited for Sunday. We're going to, it's called Escape the Room Boston.
Well, right, that's right. That's cool.
Yeah, and then another coworker of mine showed us Bogaborg or something like Bodaborg, which is in Malden. It's another thing that you can like pay $28 and take as long as you want trying to get through these rooms. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'll let you guys know next week. But we're also going to Fire and Ice.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. This is for my sister-in-law's birthday. So the boys don't know where we're going, and by the time this gets posted, not that they watch anyways. But I was talking to my brother, a side note, he wasn't going to tell his girls. Well, they browbeated him into telling them. Yeah. And he regrets it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well.
Shouldn't have given in.
He goes, yeah, I know, it's my own fault. I'm like, yeah, it is. And Cam doesn't even know where we're going.
Oh.
He knows we're going out, obviously, but he doesn't know where, so.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so. I'll have to remember to wear regular shoes and not my dance clothes.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
So, I get to spend time with my brother. I always love spending time with my brother. We don't get to do it often. That's all I got.
Gossip and innuendo. The only thing that's right on the horizon, spa was last weekend. We did not go to it. The next thing that's on the horizon is Knit North Yarn Crawl. And that starts on the 17th, which is a Thursday, and ends on the 20th, which is a Saturday. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm definitely going to go on the 19th.
I'm working.
Oh, you have to work that day?
Most likely. What is that, a Saturday?
This is Saturday.
Oh, you know what? I am because I have the Thursday off because the 19th must be my
Diane
work weekend.
is going to come, and I told her I thought you might come because you had said you might, but if you're...
Well, that's my work weekend.
You're working. Well, then I guess it will just be me and Diane. But we're definitely going to go, at least to go see Stitched by Jessalou's trunk show, which is in Salem at Circle of Stitches on Saturday.
That'll be fun.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. I dragged Diane along too because I figured
I don't think she's ever gone.
been. Not with us.
Oh yeah, I think we've seen her once or twice when we've gone.
I'm trying to remember who went the time that I had the gallbladder surgery the day before. Was that just you and me and Lara?
Did Lara go?
It rained really bad. We got soaked going to the stores. Oh wait, no, that was the next time when it was just you and me. And remember that water was coming up over.
Yeah, but that wasn't gallbladder, was it?
I had
that was the first time we went, and that was just rain. I thought.
The first time...
Because I was late picking up Zachary, remember?
Right. That was the first time. I went the day after my gallbladder surgery.
There was somebody else with us. I do.
Yeah, because I didn't drive. I rode, and because I had that ice pack.
Yeah.
I think it was Lara. It must have been Lara.
I don't know. I remember
anyway, we haven't been in a few years, so... But I remember that rainy day when we
Oh my God, that was...
We were driving, I think it was up by Lynn or Swampskit. It was Swampskit down to Lynn on that road.
Yeah, it was one
of those... The waves were coming up over the barriers into the road, and I was like, we're going to die. And we were both late picking our kids up because you couldn't drive fast.
Yeah.
It was bad.
That was bad.
So... Anyway, well, I'm sorry you can't come.
No, that's all right. I don't need to go anyways.
I don't really need to go, but I'd like to see Jess.
Yeah, well, that would always be fun, obviously. But
I know. Well, she'll be sad that you're not there.
Who knows? Because if last weekend I was supposed to work. My boss asked me to work during the week to get the Saturday off. So who knows? That might happen too.
Well, if it does, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So check that out if you live in New England, because there's like 8 or 10 stores on the list, and you can do this bingo card or something that you sign up for, and you can get your name put in for. Is it a bingo card?
I remember what they call passport. I think they call it a passport. You get like stamps or whatever for each location, and then at the last location you put it in for a big drawing.
Yeah.
Now most locations have door prizes anyway,
and some have little like gift things that they give you, like a little bag of candies or like a tape measure.
It's fun. I mean, it brings in business for the yarn shop.
Yeah. And it takes you to new yarn shops. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been to Circle of Stitches. I think that must be new.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I wonder if Seed Stitch changed hands or something.
Possibly,
and now it's Circle of Stitches.
Always a possibility.
So I'm curious to find out. Anyway, that's it for gossip and innuendo. We have to. Last week we did not tell who the winner was. I added it for the Modern Lopi, so I added it in when I edited. No, we forgot to do it. This week we're going to tell you the winners.
So the first winner, the first contest is the Blue Moon Fiber Arts winner, and it's Fox and Box, Lisa. She made a nice shawl out of her blue moon. So Lisa, you get this lovely needle minder from Vintage Fairy with a little stitch holder. And I randomly just picked this from the bunch that we had. So I hope you like cherries. It's really cute. It's bright. There we go. So Lisa, PM me, rav me your snail mail address, and I will send this out to you. As well as tell me which pattern, $5 or less, that you would like, and I will gift that to you.
Okay, awesome. We also drew 2 winners for the knit along, the regular
works in
knit
progress.
One for January and one for February, so that more people win. And
the first winner was number 39. Cthulhu Loves Me, and I remember that from. I think she's won before. Cthulhu, Cthulu. No, somebody made a Cthulhu. Cthulhu.
Okay.
Yeah, you've seen it.
I've seen. I know Cthulhu. I was just trying to figure out how to spell it.
Well, that's how she spelled it. Cthulhu Loves Me. Jen. She made socks. So Jen, you are going to get Knit and Fiber Creation. The colorway is Daryl Dixon. It's a DK Weight Diva MCN. So Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon Blend. Tammy Lamp.
Oh, yeah, it's Knit and Fiber Creations.
So this is what you get. It's really pretty. So PM me, rav me, however you want to call it, your snail mail address, and I'll get this out for you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It has
It's a nice variegated yarn.
It is a nice variegated yarn, and it has a little splash of like red in it as well. So I think it would knit up beautifully as like a cowl or a hat. And it's cashmere blend, so it's pretty nice.
And the other winner was number 45, PJ Pearls, Paula. She also made a pair of socks. And you get Brooklyn hand spun. Colorway is Cabo. I picked this out because I was thinking of Cabo San Lucas. Because we're getting snow right now. This is also a variegated. This is just superwash merino wool.
It's beautiful, though.
It is really. It does remind me of Cabo, like the beaches in the sky.
That's probably what it's named after.
I can only imagine. It's really soft.
But it would be really pretty. It could make a nice cowl or a hat or socks.
Again, variegated.
So either one of you winners could use these in our next knit-along.
So also message me in Ravelry with your snail mail address. If you get it to me before we record next week, it'll be sent out next week. If not, then it will get sent out the next time.
All right.
And that is it for winners, right?
I'm so proud that we remembered to announce the winner this week. When I was recording, I'm like, hey, something's missing.
So we won't have any more winners until the end of March for the Blue Moon and the end of
April.
April.
April. The end of April. I wrote it down. It's for the whole month of March and the whole month of April. So the first time we record in May is when we will draw the 2 winners.
And I'll open up a thread when I get home.
Yeah. Oh, good. Will you?
Yeah, that's usually.
I usually forget.
No, that's my job as well. You do
I do the book reviews.
Yeah.
So, which I don't always remember to do that. Am I just knitting without even knowing what I'm doing? No, okay. I'm just going along because there's a bunch of just knitting in the round. I'm just knitting and
That's why even though this is a sock head hat type of deal, it's just knitting.
Yeah, it goes fast when you don't have to pay attention. But then
I just hope it's not going to be.
I don't want my stitches, my next yarn over row to look weird. It has to be done at the right time. Oh, that's weird.
You did one, you don't know it, or?
These are off by a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Are they supposed to line up, or are they not?
Well, this is after the first increase row. So.
Oh, yeah. So who knows?
I don't think it really matters. I'm thinking of only doing them for a few more inches and then just knitting. Yeah. I'm kind of tired of doing the yarn over rows because you got to pay attention.
There's something to say about mindless knitting, especially when it's worsted weight.
Yeah, so I might do that. So anyway, I hope you have a great week.
Thank you for watching us, as always.
Knit with Heart. Bye.